What's going on, nation? Sly here, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now, even though I'm a little late, the weekly featured raid for this week is Crota's End. And on top of that, there are two brand new challenges within it. Of course, they were figured out the very first day. And since I was out of town, I missed making a video on it with a bunch of other new stuff to catch up on. But in any case, I want my channel to be complete, so making a guide for both parts is something I want to have, regardless if it's a few days old or not. So let's get this bad boy started. Now, for the most part, the raid is pretty much the same. The beginning is just about the same with a few minor differences. The bridge also the same. It's just that once you get 5 people across, the bridge becomes permanent, and then you have to kill a ton of enemies along with filling up these Crota statues before you can proceed. So it takes 5 people to get across, and most of the cheeses have also been removed. But of course, there's a new one in its place, and once again, the Warlock starts us off. But it's a ton of fun smashing a shitload of enemies with everyone holding swords at the end. So once you grab the second chest and then you drop down into the Deathsinger encounter, you've reached your first challenge. So if you remember back in the day, it was best to split up into teams of 3. 3 left, 3 right, and you still have a witch that comes out, and she still has to be killed, so the Shrieker opens up, and then you have to both kill the Shriekers on the left and right in order for the barriers to drop, so you can walk in and kill Uriut. The added difficulty here is that there are boomers everywhere. There's 1 in each tower, and 2 in each doorway, so 2 on the left and 2 on the right. You have to take care of those to get to the witch and the Shrieker, but more so than that, you have to kill all of the adds in the entire area. So once you guys drop down from the second chest, everyone runs up and kills the 2 Yellow Bar Knights as a group. Don't run past them like we used to. Kill all of them and then split up. Designate 1 person to get the boomer in the tower on the left and designate the other to get the tower on the right, and then have them stay up there the entire time, sniping everything that moves. The other 2 take care of the knights blocking the doorway and then pull out the witch from each side. Once the witch is down, then take care of the Shrieker. That needs to happen on both sides. The faster, the better. Now, once the barriers are down on the left and the right, everyone head back out into the main area, and then you have to kill all of the adds in the entire room. Now, kill them as fast as possible because this is a timed event. Now, once you've taken care of all of the adds, you'll see on the bottom left of your screen that Uriut shrieks in fear. When this happens, ogres will spawn along with a few other adds and a lot of boomers. Once the ogre is taken down, Uriut begins her countdown of 30 seconds, her liturgy or whatever it's called. So you have 30 seconds to kill the remaining adds, then wait for a sword bearer to spawn in the usual door when they spawn with Crota. You have to then kill him, grab the sword, take it all the way up to Uriut, and then use the sword to kill her. That completes the challenge. Now, it only takes 1 swing to kill her, but as you can see here, you only have a limited amount of time to kill the sword bearer, and then make your way to Uriut, and then kill her. It's not hard, but you have to do this pretty damn quickly. All in all, it's actually pretty easy. Just make sure everyone has their job lined up, and you're good to go. The main thing to worry about is all the adds. Make sure they are killed after the barriers are open. Sometimes a thrall, will be underneath in the middle, or even an acolyte will be behind a pillar in the corner. That will set you back precious seconds. And as you can see, every second counts in this encounter, so make sure you keep an eye out. Now, as for Crota, he's also pretty easy. The challenge is that the sword has to be passed off after every damage phase. So the same person cannot use the sword over and over. Someone new has to take it every single time. A couple of things have changed here as well. Number 1, you cannot sit on the window ledge anymore. It's been blocked off by, invisible physics. Number 2, the boomers seem to be far more aggressive this time around and seem to shoot a lot further. And the biggest part of all is that the oversoul is triggered after every damage phase. Now, the thing to remember is that each damage phase consists of 2 sword sessions. Your teammates take Crota down, you attack them the first time, then you back off, your teammates take them down again for the second time, and then you go in for your second attack. There are 2 attacks in each damage round, but the Oversoul will go off after your first and second attack. Now, don't worry about the first one. Once you take Crota down a second time, it will reset the first Oversoul and begin again. So on your second attack, however, that's when everyone gets Crota to kneel, and that's when you have to do damage. Don't look at the sword bearer, or don't look anywhere else. Don't start heading back into the middle, anything like that. All you guys need to do is focus on the Oversoul. This will happen after every damage round, not just when someone dies. Now the easiest method so far is to have 2 Titans set up bubbles on the bridge directly in front of the boomers, one on the left and one on the right. Now we used to set them back on those little circles a little further back to the window, but the boomers are smarter this time around and will ignore you and go for the closest person to attack, which will be the sword bearer. Also, popping a bubble on one side only doesn't work anymore because the boomers on the opposite side of the map will now shoot across and also kill your sword bearer, not just the ones on his or her particular side. So unless you're distracting both sides, your sword bearer will be in the line of fire. Now you can do the hunter thing, going invis and try it that way, but this is the easiest way if you're new to Crota. Now the best way to deal with this is to take out 1 knight on each side. Leave 1 knight in each tower. If you kill both, a witch will spawn, and even though she's easy to kill, she comes out at the absolute worst time and she's annoying as hell. Now once she's down, knights will spawn like immediately after, so leaving 1 alive is your best option. Also, since your team cannot sit on the glass ledge anymore, they are also open to boomers hitting them. So the Titan bubble now protects in 2 ways. It protects your teammates doing damage to Crota, as well as the sword bearer himself. So let's run this through the start. Now, once you begin, have your sides picked out and who's running the sword. Make sure you guys create orbs at the very start because Titans will need them for bubbles for this method to work. Have your first sword bearer equip Dark Drinker or Raise Lighter, and once everyone's ready to rush out, the 2 Titans deploy their bubbles halfway up the bridges directly in front of the knights. Have 1 team member be designated to snipe 1 knight from each side, leaving 1 left in every tower. Don't have the whole team shooting because you're going to end up killing too many, someone's going to miscommunicate, and a witch will spawn at the absolute worst time. So once the bubble is set, the first sword bearer has to jump down, grab the chalice, and take down the hive sword bearer. I always went left and did the 3, 2, 1 countdown. Starting my approach, when I saw 3, I did my first attack, then I backed up and repeated that. This whole time, Titans are staying inside their bubbles, keeping aggro on the knights, but peeking out to help take down Crota. Now once you do your second attack, Titans will need to watch out because Thrall will start running into your bubble and attacking. So Saint 14 is perfect here. Or you can just watch your back whenever they walk in. But staying in your bubble is key to making this work. If you don't, they're just going to shoot your sword bearer or your teammates taking down Crota. Now once Crota kneels for the second time, everyone needs to be shooting the Oversoul. Have 1 person who isn't using the sword at all in this go-through equip a Sleeper Simulant. 3 shots and everyone using their primaries does the trick nicely. Once it's done, head back inside and then wait for him to go back to the middle. That's basically a reset. Now while he's on the right side, heal up and have the second sword bearer switch out from rockets to an exotic sword. Now don't forget that if you have the sword, you should be holding the chalice as well. After Crotation, when Crota goes back to middle, everyone heads back out and that's your reset. Titans deploy bubbles, sword bearer number 2 jumps down, takes a Raise Lighter or Dark Drinker to kill the hive sword bearer, and then gets in place on the rocks on the right hand side. As you can see, where I jump right here. And like I said last time, as soon as Crota kneels, the very first time the Oversoul will go off, but you have to ignore it. Simply take him down a second time and then take out the Oversoul. So a good way to think about this is every round is now basically your last round. Like if you remember when your last damage phase was coming up, you'd get down Crota, you'd hit him, and then all of a sudden he had a sliver of health left, the Oversoul would come out and it would say Enraged. Well, that pretty much happens every damage round this time. What you have to do is just ignore it the first time, and then on your second attack attempt, then you worry about the Oversoul. Now, after 2 damage phases, depending on how good your sword carrier is the first time, you might have to hold back on doing damage. Like you see here, I went on my second attack and I did so much damage that I ended up enraging him. But with my team already heading back inside and the sword about to disappear, I couldn't finish them off. So we had to end up wiping. So if you do a lot of damage, make sure you take it easy on your second attack just to be sure that you don't enrage him, but you do enough damage that you can kill him on the 3rd try. Also, after the second damage round, ogres will come out just like they did before. There will be 2 total, and be careful of the boomers while you're taking out the ogres. Then all you do is head back inside. Don't try to take down Crota and the ogres, because he will move as soon as you get the sword bearer down. What you want to do is after you kill the ogres, ignore Crota, head back inside, and he's going to move to the left or the right pretty soon after you kill the ogres. Wait for him to go back into the middle, and then do the third and final damage round, and that's when you kill him. Now, of course, this is the safe way. You can kill him in 2 damage phases if you're confident in your sword routine, but I would play it safe and just get it done. But that's it, guys. It's actually pretty easy as long as you have a team comfortable with using the sword. Just remember that the Titans need to be in their bubbles before the person who was grabbing the sword jumps down, and they are also the last ones to head back inside. You don't want the boomers to not have something to shoot at. If the boomer knights are shooting at the sword bearer while he's doing damage to Crota, that means the Titan bubble isn't up far enough to grab his attention. Also, a good tip: set your bubble on the far side of the bridge closest to the boomers. This way you can use the Ward of Dawn as a shield, so to speak, and then step out of the bubble to help take down Crota while still holding aggro, keeping yourself safe. And that's pretty much it, guys. The hardest part to me was actually the Death Singer, because you only have like a minute 50 to 2 minutes to complete the challenge. So you have to work pretty fast, and even that wasn't really challenging. It's a cool mix of new mechanics that make this raid enjoyable. So good luck, and hope the loot rains down for you guys. I've only completed it 2 times so far, well, loot-wise, and I've already have like 4 of the adept weapons and a few armor pieces, so they are definitely being generous this time around. The rest of my team pretty much the same way. One person already has all of the weapons that are adept and a full raid set, so they're definitely stepping up the loot this time. Anyways, I hope this helps y'all complete the Crota challenge, and I cannot wait to see what's up with the Vault of Glass and King's Fall. As always, it's a total pleasure to have you all here, and thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter at SlyNation or on Facebook at SlyNation Gaming. It's the best place to see up-to-date info about our favorite games, as well as new uploads coming out of my channel. Take care, y'all, and keep an eye out for more videos coming out of SlyNation here very soon. But until then, this is your boy Sly, and I will talk to you all next time.